I think Loudoun County has grown in leaps and bounds since I was here. When I first came here, there was one winery. And somebody asked me one time when I was building my restaurant, they said, well, people are going to copy you. And I said, yes, they are going to copy me. And that's a great asset to Loudoun County. I said, because having one winery, people come and go to the winery and they go back home and they don't come back. But now we have such diversity here that it's absolutely wonderful. And somebody said, well, don't you worry about the competition? And I said, no, competition is very good because we all do something different. We all have a business that's completely different from, it may be the same, a restaurant, it may be the same, a winery, but we all do something different. And we all approach it in maybe a small different way. So when I first started this, I didn't have the restaurant at the moment, I wanted to encourage children to eat from the ground, eat from the earth, and enjoy what they were. So I did school tours, and they would come here, and we would go around the farm, and we would pick from what was available on the farm. So basically encouraging children to eat fresh food, to eat fresh not only vegetables, but also the fruits of the farm. So they would pick blueberries, they would pick raspberries, they would pick raw asparagus and eat them. They would go, some children had no idea what collards were. And so I had grown collards. Some children didn't know where the milk came from. And so it was real eye-opening to me. And so to share that and to kind of encourage that was very important. It was also important to me that if I sold my vegetables, I wanted them to be sold at a price that the parents could actually afford them because I was growing organically. And at that time, the prices of organic were very, very high. And I just felt that I couldn't do that. I wanted children to be able to eat that way. And so hopefully parents would come here and buy the organic produce and the fresh produce and then feed the children in that manner. So when we first started and I thought that the restaurant could take effect, I didn't have a place to do it. So I took a bay of the barn, and I had originally made it into a retail shop. And when it went from a retail shop, and then I decided, okay, well, where am I going to serve these dinners? And so I said, well, we'll serve them in the barn. And so I converted the barn into a small space where we served just 20 people. And the barn became the dining room. And then finally we decided that once I said, oh, I kind of like this idea, then I built a very rustic terrace, and we went from the barn to the rustic terrace and with a tent. And then we did that for several years until finally I was able to go to the county and ask them if I could put a restaurant on my farm. The biggest satisfaction to me is literally running this restaurant and meeting all of the people and being here on the earth and watching the sunrises, watching the sunsets, and connecting with people that really are sharing what we do. And they have become a part of our family. I've watched people get married here, have children here, so yes, that's the biggest gift that they have given me. What makes Beverly get up every day? Well, first of all, just to look at the sunrise and what's happening every morning as I look out my window. That's the first thing, and to be thankful for every single day that happens. And then to know that I'm contributing something that is a positive force. And every day I feel, and this is what I tell my staff too, that every day we can make something better. And so every day you strive to just do one thing that will make either yourself or the world better. And so I guess that's what wakes me up every day, is to say, okay, fine. And then my children also. I wake up every day to say thank you, because I am so blessed to have so many children and grandchildren. So that's beautiful. So I guess for my legacy, or for people remembering me or remembering the restaurant at Patowmack Farm, I guess I want them to remember that I did bring good food, healthy food from the earth, and that I really cared about what they were concerned about, and I really cared about keeping the earth safe. All that together brings around having good food for people to have. And I think also, I just want them to know that I cared about them. And I was concerned that every time that they came here, that they were part of a family, and that we really did want to know about them, and we did really want to welcome them into our home. And that's what we wanted them to feel, like it was their home also.